On my last cruise, I had to literally run across the ship as the minutes were ticking down. I was sweaty, I was stressed, I was panicked. I don't know what the lady at reception thought of me when I finally got there. I was so out of breath I couldn't really speak. But it was not good. It was not the highlight of my last cruise. This is your room key, it's your payment, it's your ID, it's everything you need on a cruise. It lets you into your cabin, and losing this is not ideal. I usually think I'm pretty good at not losing my cruise card. I don't think I've done it in the last 10 years, but I picked the worst time on this cruise to lose my cruise card, of course. I usually keep my cruise card in this thing on the back of my phone. I never think to check it because it is always there. It's always on the back of my phone. So we got up, we were in Almeria in Spain, we went to breakfast, we got ready for our excursion, and I never thought to check this because it's always in here. I never check it because it's always there until it's not there. Our excursion ticket said that we should meet at 10 to 10, so we left at 10:15. We left an extra 5 minutes to walk off the ship, which should have been plenty of time. As we were walking down the corridor, I was talking to my dad and saying, oh, we don't need anything for this cruise, do we? I'm pretty sure all that we need is our tickets, our face masks, and our cruise cards. At that point, I decided to flip over my phone just to have a look and check that my cruise card was in there. Of course it wasn't. At that point, I had a little panic, but it wasn't really a big deal. I assumed that I had just left it kind of on the side in my cabin, maybe in the bathroom. So I took my brother's cruise card, went back to the room to look for mine, and I said that I would meet my family down there, thinking that it would be, a 20-second delay. Unfortunately, it wasn't like that. I knew that I didn't have much time to find my cruise card because I had about 3 minutes until I had to meet off with the ship. So I quickly kind of threw everything to the side off my desk, went through all my clothes, quickly looked in the bathroom, and I couldn't find it. At that moment, I had a decision to make. I could either spend a few more minutes trying to find it here, or I could go to reception. I didn't know that my cruise card was even in the room. It could have fallen out in a bar or a lounge or somewhere the day before. So I decided at that point, I thought, I'll waste more time if I stay here trying to find it. So I went straight to reception, and I ran to reception. Reception was down 6 decks and halfway across the ship. I have no sense of direction, so I saw my brother and shouted to him, am I going the right way? And he pointed me in the direction of the reception, and I ran. The other passengers were there, they saw me running, I don't know what they thought of me, but I knew I had to get there, so running was the fastest way. When I got to reception, it was about 10:02, aka the time that I was supposed to be meeting everybody outside on the bus. I knew that that bus would leave exactly on time, and being late makes me feel sick, it makes me feel panicked. I had visions of everybody on the bus sitting there waiting for me angrily. It was horrible. The lovely lady who was working on reception, she recognised me because I'd been at the reception desk the day before, so she knew my name, she got me the cruise card. It probably took about 2 minutes, but when you're stood there panicking, it feels like time is stretched, but she was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to that lady. As soon as I had that cruise card back in my hand, I ran again across the ship, straight out the gangway and across to the buses. My brother and my dad were waiting there for me. They'd gone ahead to tell them that I was late and that I would be at reception. And I definitely was a little bit worried at that point that I would be in trouble for being late because I was about 5 minutes after the time that they said that we should meet there. When I climbed onto the bus, I was very happy to see that it wasn't full of angry people who were waiting for me. There were probably only about 10 of us on the bus. And what they did was they said, meet at 10:02 so that we will leave at 10. So when I sat down on the bus at 3 minutes to 10, thinking I was 7 minutes late and incredibly stressed and incredibly sweaty, I had 3 minutes to go. For me, that's still 7 minutes late. I don't know about you, but being only 3 minutes early is pretty much late for me. But thankfully, I sat on the bus for 3 minutes until 10:00, and then the bus drove away as promised, as planned. I was really exhausted, and I think because of all the adrenaline running through me, I just slept the whole way there on the bus. If you've ever lost your cruise card, please let me know the story in the comments. I absolutely love reading them. I've read some really funny ones before about people who've literally dropped their cruise card off the gangway, or they've had it blow away, and it just makes me feel less silly. So please leave your comments about how you've lost your cruise cards. Moral of this story is to check your cruise card more than 5 minutes before you need it. In my defense though, I had a lot to remember on this cruise and I did make a few silly mistakes. This was my first international cruise since the pandemic and it was very different from cruising before. To find out how the cruise went and why I nearly got stranded in Spain, check out this video next.